What's going on, guys? So in this video we are going to talk about 10 Pokemon that I would like to see as alternate arts come into the hobby, and hopefully come into the next coming sets. Now granted, I could honestly repeat some alternate arts that I'd really like to see come back just in a different form, but we're not going to be doing that. We're going to primarily focus on Pokemon that we haven't seen yet, at least in the Sword and Shield era. Starting out, I've got one of my favorite Pokemon written down here. Basically, it's one of the legendaries. We saw the legendary dogs in Crown Zenith. I kind of consider the Galarian Gallery artworks for those legendary dogs alternate arts. I know they're not really alternate arts, but I kind of wanted to leave the dogs out considering the fact that we just saw them in Crown Zenith. A Pokemon, though, that I haven't really seen much of in terms of doing a really good, like, secret rare alternate art is Groudon. Now, if you don't know, Groudon is a Pokemon that surfaced in Generation 3. If you played the Game Boy games, it was Ruby and Sapphire. I believe maybe even Ruby was how you got Groudon, Sapphire was how you got Kyogre, but I feel like you could get both of them in both games. It was just some Pokemon were only exclusive to either of those games. Anyways, I don't have all these cards ready. I did think about this. I figured, there might be new people to the channel, people that are getting back into Pokemon, people that might not know or be able to, in their mind, reference what I'm talking about. So, that being said, I'm going to bring him over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So, we have Groudon. Now, this was... I just got this card from my collection video. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. This is a Groudon EX. I believe this is from Crystal Guardians. Yeah, number 93 out of 100. This is Groudon EX from Crystal Guardians. I really like Groudon because I'm a huge fan of, and we'll back this up to me now. I really like Groudon because I'm a huge fan of the colorway. Red and black are some of my favorite colors to see together. You can see back here I used to have all my sneakers. Slowly my sneakers are getting phased out of the background for this channel, even though I am still kind of a sneakerhead. But these are Bred 1s. They are the Bred is short for black and red colorway. So, as you can imagine, I really like Groudon. I love Charizard, but Groudon, in some ways, tops everything for me. The black and red is just fantastic. The spikes on the side of Groudon's body, as well as his claws, and kind of the pattern that's on his body, those kind of markings. Everything about Groudon is just phenomenal to me. In fact, I'm going to pull this card out here so we can get a slightly better look at it. There we go. There we go. But yeah, I'm really a huge fan of Groudon. I just think he's phenomenal, and I think he's one of the cooler looking Pokemon. He almost reminds me of like a Transformer, kind of. That y'all might roast me for that. But I just think Groudon looks really, really cool. And I like that you have this kind of land, lizard, rock. Like, I'm not even sure how to describe Groudon. He's just, I guess he's just like a rock type Pokemon. He's just sick, and just reminds me of like, just like a boulder kind of Pokemon. The same reason that I like Golem. Like, I just like any kind of rock, tough type Pokemon. And I just think Groudon's sick, and I'd really like to see an artwork where Groudon is in a battle stance in an alternate art. I think that would be really cool. That's just me. Again, these are 10 Pokemon that I'd like to see. I kind of like this idea of like pointing out Pokemon that we'd like to see in the Pokemon community. I think it'd be really cool to see that come into fruition and to see Pokemon come out with sets where we're seeing our favorite Pokemon come out into these alternate arts. But Groudon, I feel like for me is a strong, these are numbered, but at the same time, I don't really pick one over another. I just kind of started listing them on a piece of paper, and Groudon was just the first thing that popped into my head. So I felt like that was a sign that Groudon had to get things going, and that, you know, maybe other people would feel the same way I do about Groudon. He's just a sick Pokemon, and he deserves a lot more representation. So hopefully we'll see more of Groudon. I just absolutely love that card. Yeah, okay, I'll stop talking about Groudon. Number 2 is Gyarados. And if you don't know who Gyarados is, you're going to pull one out from up here. Here we go. I got a Gyarados. Now, I might not have a Pokemon that I can reference for all of these, but this is a Gyarados full art from Evolving Skies. It's absolutely fantastic. Centering's a little bit off, but still, this is really a nice Pokemon. I don't think I pulled this Pokemon. I don't think I pulled it. I think it was gifted to me at some point. But I think that this Gyarados is absolutely phenomenal. Maybe some of you guys that have been on the channel for long enough can point this out, that maybe somebody gifted me this Gyarados at some point. I'm not entirely sure. But Gyarados has been a fan favorite since, you know, the beginnings of Pokemon. The last time, I feel like the best Gyarados, some of the best Gyarados, the Shining Gyarados from Neo Destiny, Shining Gyarados was really fantastic. And then Gyarados from Skyridge. The Skyridge Gyarados is really epic. He just looks so cool. Those are some of the Gyarados that I think about when I think of iconic Gyarados, and I think we're long overdue for a Gyarados artwork that's just really, really good. And it can even be similar to the Shining Gyarados where the person's on a boat. I think it's kind of funny that Lugia kind of took that same dynamic with the alternate art Lugia, where the Lugia is flying over the fisherman. And just the colors of Gyarados, the headpiece, the trident headpiece, the dragon serpent, just everything about Gyarados. I mean, when you really think about Pokemon, it's amazing that these animations became this big franchise, right? Like, I could have never thought about anything like this. You really have to think outside of the box to come up with animations like this. They're just incredible, and just the illustration of everything. So I really like Gyarados. I also like the fact that Gyarados is a water-type Pokemon that has dragon moves and can actually spit fire. I'm pretty sure Gyarados can use Flamethrower in the Game Boy games. So I just think Gyarados is super dope. Next up is Venusaur. Now, you guys should know Venusaur. I don't think I should have to pull Venusaur out. In fact, we've got Venusaur right on this base set box right here. This is your boy Venusaur, kind of Bulbasaur and Ivysaur's evolved forms. The grass-type lizard-esque Pokemon that has a bulb or flower on top of its back. Venusaur, I feel like, has been super forgotten lately. We've had so much hype on Charizard. I'd like to see more Venusaur. I think Venusaur is a really cool Pokemon, especially, and I think we are going to see a Venusaur very soon. And here's why I think that to be the case. So the Brilliant Stars Charizard, guys, hush. The Brilliant Stars Charizard features Charizard flying up, and you can see his back. I'll just bring it for reference. I need all these cards for reference. If I were any better at editing videos, I could just pop them up on the screen. But I think it's different seeing the actual card anyways. So here you go. Here's the Charizard alternate art that we saw from Brilliant Stars not too long ago. I'm going to focus that in on this Charizard. So there you go. Hopefully that's a better view of Charizard. So as you can see in the background, you've got Venusaur fighting him right there. I really, really want to see another continued artwork with this. In the Charizard UPC, which I have a UPC directly behind me, it's that white box with the Charizard on it. In the Charizard UPC, they have a continued artwork that plays along with this, where Venusaur is on the opposite end, and and Charizard, or maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe I've got this wrong. But I think it's Charizard is curled up in a ball, laying down, and I haven't opened a single Charizard UPC, so I don't even know what the card looks like. I really do want to open up a UPC. But anyways, Charizard is curled up in a ball from defeat, from being battled in defeat. I would like to see though I would like to see an alternate art where Venusaur is depicted from his angle, from a perspective with Venusaur fighting Charizard. I know that I can't be alone here. Venusaur is really sick, and we want to see more of Venusaur. And I'll just put those away later. Okay, next up, Blastoise. I don't think I have anything to point out. Well, actually, I do. I've got my booster pack as a reference. We've got this base unlimited booster pack. We've got Blastoise. Let's zoom that in. We've got Blastoise artwork on the front there. I'd really like to see, and that artwork is just phenomenal. I'd really like to see Blastoise get depicted again. I feel like we have not seen Blastoise in a hot minute, especially not in something like an alternate art. We are long overdue to see Blastoise in a battle stance, fighting some other Pokemon, maybe even potentially like a water Pokemon, or maybe a leaf type Pokemon, like in a forest where Blastoise is shooting his water cannons. That would be sick to me. That's the kind of artwork that I really want to see. I know we have a lot of fans out there that are big on Blastoise, so definitely want to see that. Honestly, in some ways, Blastoise is just as cool, if not cooler. Same with Venusaur as Charizard, so I don't know why Charizard is always kind of the keystone card in all collections. I have a first edition Charizard, and I also have the first edition Venusaur and the Blastoise. I have a complete first edition master set, which was a really awesome goal to complete not too long ago. But I love the Blastoise and Venusaur cards, and I don't understand why they're at such a lower market price than the Charizard. So I think it's time that, people give Blastoise and Venusaur, a run for the money again, and get them out as alternate arts again. Like, it's time. We're long overdue. Next up, Aggron. So bear with me. I know, bear with me. I know. Let me give you guys, I'm going through my stack of hollows here. I know we got an Aggron in here somewhere. These are hollows that people have either gifted me or that I just have in bulk from collections. Ooh, we got some Southern Islands hollows here. We got that Togepi. Bear with me, guys. Oh, and we have a Groudon, again, looking fantastic. Love that artwork. Absolutely love that artwork. Nidoqueen. Oh, Jirachi. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm looking for that Aggron. Here we go. All right. So we got an Aggron. Here's Aggron. See if we can zoom that in. Kind of the steel type, rock type Pokemon. Steel colorless Pokemon in terms of the attacks. Groudon is really, really sick. I'm trying to get it as close as possible. Let's see if we can pull that out and show the card a little bit better. And I have better artworks of Groudon as well, but this is just one that I know off the top of my head where it was. We've got Groudon right here, crushing a boulder or something. Groudon is absolutely epic. I ran Groudon in Sapphire Ruby. Just all the evolved forms. Aeron, Lairon, Groudon, they just look absolutely fantastic. He's another kind of, I'm sorry, Aeron, Lairon, and Aggron. I said Groudon, I'm sorry. But those are just, I really like these beefy, strong, like steel rock type Pokemon. I just think they're really cool, and we haven't seen them in a really cool alternate art in a battle stance before. Maybe Aggron could be, standing tall, whipping his tail, crushing a boulder or something, or like with a family behind him, like little Aerons behind him or something. Like, that would be sick. I just know that Aggron's really cool. I'm going to show him up here once again. Just think Aggron's sick. And this particular artwork is really, really cool. I know it's not really worth anything, but it's still a fantastic looking artwork of Aggron kind of crushing a boulder. I want to say my Fire Red booster box has an Aggron. I want to say, or maybe it's Ruby Sapphire. It might be Ruby Sapphire. Here it is. Here we go. Here's a cooler artwork. I can't take it out of the sleeve, but here's a good artwork of Aggron from the EX series era. He's just a big guy. That skull helmet almost, I don't know how to describe that. He's got like a skull. He's got like a skull helmet with spikes sticking out of it. He's just a super iconic Pokemon to me, and I'd like to see a lot more of him. You know, I'm glad to say that we were able to see a Blaziken alternate art from Chilling Reign. I'm not going to go grab that Blaziken, but I'm really glad we got to see some of those Sapphire Ruby starters as alternate arts. Just this. Okay. What were we into next? And let me know what you guys think about these thoughts. I know that the Blastoise and the Venusaur were generic, but I also feel like Blastoise and Venusaur were long overdue on this. And I would have probably done a live for this just to have a discussion, an open discussion, but I don't know who's available. And I wanted to stay on topic. But we might be doing a live tonight. I might be doing a live with the, where is that dang box? I might be doing a live later tonight with the Reggie Drago Crown Zenith box. I've been kind of saving it aside for a while since Crown Zenith hasn't really been releasing any products on their website. But anyways, I'm probably going to open that up tonight. I'm definitely wanting to open more Crown Zenith, but I just, financially, I'm topped out right now, and I just don't want to buy any more ATBs at the moment, especially not for secondary prices, secondary market prices. Next up is Absol. Now, I don't have an Absol to give you guys a frame of reference off the top of my head. I don't have an Absol, but Absol is kind of the dark type Pokemon. One of the most iconic Absols was the secret rare Absol. I'm trying to remember what secret rare Absol and Team Magma, Team Aqua. There's a secret rare Absol that's just phenomenal. It's a super majestic looking Pokemon. It's very reminiscent. Now, you guys might flame me for this, but in my opinion, Absol reminds me a lot of Umbreon. I know they're completely different. Umbreon has big ears. Absol has like a rounded spike thing on its head. And like, all these Pokemon at the time when Gen 3 came out, I was like, what is an Absol? Like, this Pokemon looks so weird. But they've all grown on me heavily, and I think maybe now that I'm back in the hobby for the long term, that all these newer Pokemon could also grow on me. Like Zacian and Zamazenta, those are growing on me a good bit. Or Shifu, that's growing on me a good bit. So who knows? Maybe after a while, like I'll come to respect and love a lot of these newer Pokemon that are being released. But Absol is definitely one of my favorites. And I know that Crown Zenith has a Galarian Gallery Absol. So one part of me wanted to, not use Absol just because he was just in a Galarian Gallery, just like the legendary dogs. But I still think an Absol alternate art would go super hard. He's a dark type. He's a loner. I like Absol for that reason, that I just think Absol is kind of a loner, lone wolf type Pokemon. I just think Absol is really cool. And I have an affinity for dark type Pokemon. I like the dark type Pokemon. That's mainly why I like Umbreon. I don't even care as much that it's an evolution, as much as the fact that I like that it's a dark type Pokemon. And there's so many Pokemon I could have said here. There's so many Pokemon I could have said, but I wanted to keep it short with 10 Pokemon. I can always do another series and talk about another group of 10 Pokemon that I think we should see as alternate arts and what I'd like to be seeing there. For the Absol, I think it's pretty simple. We see Absol a lot of times as kind of a mountaineer. Absol likes being in the mountains. I think it would be really, really sick to see Absol on the top of a mountaintop with like snow and everything in the background, very similar to the Suicune in the Galarian Gallery. I just think we're long overdue to see a secret rare or alternate art of Absol. Next up is Flygon. Flygon, we saw a full art of Flygon in Brilliant Stars, and I'm going to pull that up right now. Let's see. Where is this full art? Oh, man. And we had a full art Aggron as well. Since I already have him, I'm going to show this. I did pull this full art Aggron. He looks phenomenal. This Aggron looks phenomenal. VMAX Aggron. I did pull him, so it was pretty cool that we were able to, that I had that. I almost forgot that I pulled that card. That was probably the best card that I pulled out of Brilliant Stars, sadly. Super sad, because I opened a lot of Brilliant Stars. That was a huge letdown set for me, as much as I like the set because it has the Charizard in it. But Flygon, we've got a full art Flygon here, and he looks absolutely fantastic. It's really a great full art. You can see Flygon in the same kind of illustration that most of these other full arts in Brilliant Stars were done in. Has this really great orange background. But I'd really like to see Flygon as an alternate art. I think Flygon is an easy one to create a really, really fantastic alternate art for. He's a flying type Pokemon. I think it would be cool to have like Vibravas behind Flygon, like flying up behind Flygon, and then Flygon up at the top with like mountain ranges behind Flygon. Like there's the possibilities for alternate art ideas are so endless in the Pokemon universe. I'm trying to think what the Beedrill from Skyridge, where all the Beedrills are behind each other. I kind of think they could do something like that with Flygon, and like a bunch of Vibravas behind Flygon. I think that would look really, really cool. And also, just, complementary colors. Flygon has red and green, and those colors pop off, and I think it would look phenomenal as an alternate art. For me, with my parents being artists, I look at colors a lot. I look at color schemes a lot and what looks good. Same with the Absol. The Absol has, the light gray, whitish body color, and then, facial and, foot features are darker. I just think that's Pokemon. I like Pokemon that pop off aesthetically, and I think Flygon is right in there. And I could talk about Salamence too, but I'll probably save that for another time. Number 8, Raichu. Raichu, and perfect. If you don't know Raichu, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have to reference Raichu. But we've got a Raichu card right here. Actually, not a bad artwork at all. Let's see, what's that from? Oh, that's Silver Tempest. We got this Raichu from Silver Tempest. Raichu is sick. Raichu is the big brother evolved form of Pikachu, and we should see a little bit more respect for Raichu. There's also a full art up there from Brilliant Stars that I have of Raichu. I love Raichu. I love Pikachu and Raichu. Those are that's probably in my top 10 Pokemon right there, both of them, because Raichu is a fantastic evolved form of Pikachu. The colors look great. It's very subtle. He doesn't get that much bigger or change too much. The ears change. The tail looks like it gets longer and kind of turns into a cord versus Pikachu's shorter tail. And I can put them side by side here. But you've got Raichu and Pikachu. And honestly, for the next one, it's Pikachu. And obviously we've got our reference here, and everyone should know who Pikachu is. I know what you're thinking right now. Dude, we just had a secret in Crown Zenith with Pikachu. That's a dope Pikachu artwork. I know. Pikachu is probably overdone at this point. We see a lot of Pikachus, but I still want to see an alternate art where Pikachu is aggressively battling. The last Pikachu that I think I really, really liked, I would say, Obviously, first edition Red Cheeks Pikachu is probably my favorite Pikachu. Actually, I don't know. It might be the Gold Star Pikachu. The Gold Star Pikachu, where he's like, huh. He's like tough, and he's got an electric shock kind of coming off of his body. The Gold Star Pikachu is definitely my favorite Pikachu. It's hard. The first edition's cool, but in terms of the artwork, the Gold Star just smacks on a whole other level, and it's holographic, which is a big deal. But I would love to see an aggressive battle stance with Pikachu and see him, like a small picture of Pikachu, like have Pikachu maybe taking up the size of this dead end back here, like a smaller, maybe like a quarter of the whole frame, a Pikachu, and then just a holographic electric shock going down the whole card, or just the entire card is just electric and shock surrounding Pikachu. I think that'd be really sick. Very reminiscent of the Gold Star artwork, so maybe I'm not being very original, but again, I'm a huge fan and a simp for Pikachu, so I really like Pikachu, and I want to see him in an alternate art that's regarded as a very like a highly sought after chase card. I want to see that happen. That might not happen with Scarlet and Violet. We're gonna see all new Pokemon, an all new era. I don't know if we're gonna see the Gen 1 through 3 Pokemon as much, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Last off, I'm gonna say Scyther. Scyther or Scizor. Now, the reason I say that is because they're pretty much the same Pokemon. Scizor is the Steel evolution of Scyther. I don't think I have a Scizor off the bat here that I can reference, so I'm sorry about that. But I do have a Scyther right in front of me that I want to show you guys. And let's see. That's Neo Discovery. It's got that little Mayan, that little temple right there. A little temple emblem. So this is Neo Discovery, and this is like, look at this artwork, guys. When are we going to get really sick artwork like this again? Like, this could have been an alternate art card. This could have been an alternate art card. You have him, the background's all holographic, it's textured. You have Scyther chopping down leaves, or like maybe helping out. Like, Scyther could be like helping out a farmer, or just helping out somebody at their house, like chopping down grass or chopping down weeds or something. Like, you could have a little kid, sitting, pointing to a Scyther, and Scyther could be chopping away at something. Like, I don't know. I just think Scyther's really cool, and I'd like to see more artworks of Scyther. I just think he's a fantastic Pokemon. For me, again, we're going to get into color here. The vibrant green on Scyther. Scyther is like the Lamborghini of Pokemon cards, right? Like, what I mean by that is, like, when you see a lime green Lamborghini, you're like, whoa, it catches your eye. The same way I feel about Scyther. The colors are just fantastic, and sometimes I don't understand why certain Pokemon just don't get any hype. Like, Scyther is such a sick, bad to the bone looking Pokemon. His arms are freaking scythes, I guess. His arms are swords. Like, it's pretty cool. And those are the 10 Pokemon for this video in terms of the length of time this video went. I am going to end the video, but those are the Pokemon that I'd like to see as alternate arts. Leave some comments in below on what you think of those choices. Were they bland? Could they have been a little bit different? Sure. And what are some Pokemon that you'd maybe like to see in another breakdown in the top, 10 alternate arts that we'd like to see in the hobby. Anyways, guys, peace out. Oh, and thank you for watching my videos.